Hello air signs, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. Today I will be doing a new year reading for Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Now before I go ahead and get into the reading, I wanted to talk about my meditative session that I had before I pulled the cards because I think it's going to resonate with this reading. So what I was shown was someone was using a sword, and in the swords in tarot represent the air signs. Okay, so the suit of swords in tarot represents all the air signs. But anyway, so this person was sitting there and he was chopping at this big block of wood. Okay, and he was working so diligently and so powerfully, and he was just so focused on, whatever it was that he was just chopping at this log. And he hadn't realized that he was working so hard, but he was not making any progress. Okay, so he was chopping and chopping at this piece of wood, but he wasn't even making a scratch in it, and he hadn't even realized that. Now, I was also shown a fire flower, and a fire flower symbolizes transformation, which is really great. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And the first two cards that we have here are the Five of Swords and the Strength card. Now, these two cards here represent your theme for the coming new year. Okay, now the Five of Swords is not the greatest card to get because it represents defeat. Okay, and I don't necessarily think that that is the theme for the new year. I just feel like there are some things that you're going to have to let go of. Okay, things that are no longer working, or possibly something that you've been working on and putting so much of your time and your energy into, that it's best if you just not drag it into the new year. Because if you're working on something where you're putting more effort and energy into, and you're not receiving the progress, you're not seeing the progress equivalent to the work that you're putting into it, it may be time to call it quits. Okay, for example, this could be a relationship that you're working on. It could be, whether it's with a family member, maybe burying a hatchet, or trying to rekindle a relationship, or trying to fix a relationship. It's time to really evaluate that situation and be honest with yourself about how much progress you have or you haven't made in the situation. And if the progress isn't equaling up, then it may be time to kind of leave that behind. Now, also from the Five of Swords, I'm getting not someone who is not standing up for themselves. Okay, and I can see this happening in a workplace, for example. I feel like someone is in a career where they feel like they deserve to get a better position, a higher position, or a promotion, and you're not speaking up. You're not speaking up to, let yourself be a voice. Now, for those of you that are struggling with that, and for those of you that are struggling with trying that you've been working really hard on something, the Strength card here is telling you that the energy for the next year is there. That strength is going to be there for you. Like, you're going to find the strength to overcome, whichever area this is for you. Okay, and I feel like for those of you that have been working really hard at something, it's going to be tough because you put a lot of energy, you've put a lot of focus, and you put a lot of time, and for some of you, some of these situations may have even cost money. Okay, but I think that it's really time for you to take a step back and evaluate the situation and let go of the things that are not serving you, because if they didn't serve you yesterday and they don't serve you today, then they're not going to serve you moving forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next card, and this is the King of Cups. There you go. So this is representing what it is that you need to leave in 2019. Okay, this is a thought pattern, a behavior. Okay, Some of you may be struggling with, you know, emotional balance. Some of you may be struggling with that. But again, as I mentioned, someone that is not standing up for themselves, this could also represent a lack of backbone. Okay, and even if it's not where a situation where you're not standing up for yourself in a specific situation, standing up for yourself is also taking a step back and looking at whatever it is that you may have been working hard on and there's no progress there. It also means standing up for yourself in that way. You know, even to say, you know, this is really hard for me to move on from, but I'm better than this, okay? So you need to have the backbone, okay, to do that. It's time to find your power and use the intelligence, okay, that you naturally possess to stand up for yourself and what you believe in, okay? Sometimes you even have to stand up for yourself against yourself, you know, kind of wanting to stay in that vicious cycle. You just have to kind of give yourself a reality check and snap out of it, okay? Some of you, like I mentioned, you know, struggling with emotional stability. Some of you are going to see a lot of emotional growth, okay, in this coming year, which is just going to support so much, you know, success. You know, people don't realize how, you know, blockages affect forward growth, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the next card, and this is the Chariot card. And this represents the opportunities that you are going to have in the new year, okay? And this is the perfect card to get because this is about moving forward, overcoming challenges and taking victories, okay? It's own the change that you desire and you deserve, okay? It's victory with overcoming obstacles and having the ambition to do so, okay? You're going to find the focus and the self-discipline that you need to be successful because the opportunity is going to be there for you, okay? Now let's go ahead and move on to the next card, and this is the Nine of Swords, and this card represents obstacles that you may face in the new year. Now, of course, there are always going to be obstacles, okay? There are always going to be hurdles and things that you're going to have to, you know, be faced with. And for you air signs, this obstacle or this struggle is going to be anxiety and negative self-thinking. Yes, you know, life can be overwhelming, but if you take the time to decompress and reset, it can really clear the mind and help you refocus, okay, with that clarity that air signs so naturally have, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the next card, the Magician card. And this card represents how you're going to stay on top of these obstacles, okay? How you're going to defeat these obstacles. And the Magician card is just, I mean, it's going to be willpower, okay? That's what's going to come down to. But, you know, with the Magician here, this is telling you that you're going to find that willpower to be able to change this way of thinking that may be holding you back, okay? Air signs are incredibly logical and intelligent. Use those traits to your advantage, okay? You know that anxiety and negative self-thinking is no good for your success and your goals. If you feel yourself slipping into this dark place where you're having these sort of self-doubt thoughts, divert your thinking, okay? Try to, you know, even if you have to just fake it till you make it, you know, it may not work at first, but the more that you divert your thinking, no matter what it is, you know, those bad thoughts will be overcome, okay? Tell yourself how confident you are. Tell yourself how smart and intelligent you are and your self-worth, okay? Remind yourself of all of those things. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next card. And this is how to achieve your goals in the next year. Okay, and that is the Four of Pentacles. And I feel like that is a very perfect card to get. Okay, because this card, this is about conserving your energy for what promotes you. Okay, being frugal with your energy. The new year is full of energy and of transformation. Okay, and I feel like in the first 3 months or so for you air signs, it's going to be such a transitional period. You're going to maybe struggle a little bit emotionally. Okay, you're definitely going to struggle with letting things go that no longer serve you, but all of the strength, the flow and the movement and the willpower that you're going to need to be successful in the next year, that energy is there for you. Okay, you're going to have to let go of people and situations that no longer serve you, but ultimately it will do you so good. And like I said, be frugal with your energy. Okay, if it doesn't support you and your cause and your, it doesn't propel you forward, distance yourself from it. Okay, so now the next card that I have here is an oracle card. Now I'm not very, this is a new deck for me, so I don't know what the meaning is right off of the top of my head. But I'm going to read it intuitively, and then I'll read the book meaning, and it's Dream Time Creation. And this card is so beautiful. I wish it wasn't. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, and if you notice here, I don't know if you can see that right there. Doesn't that look like a fire flower? Very beautiful. This card is really beautiful. Okay, so Dream Time Creation. What I get from that card, from this card intuitively, is I feel like you air signs, it's time for you to create your own reality. Okay, your thoughts are your reality. Your thoughts are what you manifest. Okay, figure out what it is that you want, what goals you want to reach in the new year, and I feel like you can create it. Okay, so let me go ahead and read the meaning from the book. Okay, so Dream Time Creation. Okay, for the Aborigines, I know I said that wrong, of Australia, the dream time is a place before time and outside of time, in which ancestral spirit beings came to earth and gave all of life its form. Once the work was done, these spirits remained in the very forms they created, including the animals, hills, stars, and other features of the land. And they continue to be present today. The dream time is an individual's or group's spiritual template, including songs and stories that have been handed down for at least 60,000 years. Although Australians would say that they've existed since the beginning of time. In one such tradition, there's a creation story involving the didgeridoo, which is essentially a hollowed out log that emits a droning sound when played. In this card, we see that a spirit man plays this instrument. The world is sung into existence. Note the various beings and colors and structures of the land that are being created, all carrying the spirit that has been breathed into them. Yeah, see, so air signs, this is you right here, and you are, just creating all of this. That's all it takes is a little bit of forward movement, and put your mind to it, focus, and you can create this. I mean, Okay, so the overall message for this card is close your eyes, tune into your breathing, and allow yourself to sink deeply into the heart of the living creation that you are. As you notice your breath becoming steady and slightly deeper than usual, observe the urge within you that is begging to come forth in some creative action. Pay attention to any images, sounds, or feelings that beckon your awareness. And there you will find the key as to the manner in which to express this magnificent pulse, okay? You know, it's about manifesting, okay? Your thoughts are your reality. Like, try to remember that. You know, it's a good thing to remember when you have like those negative self-thinking thoughts, you know. Just remember, okay, I can't think like this because then this is what I'm going to create around me. Okay, your breath is the crossover between spirit and physical reality. Breathing comfortably and steadily helps you align yourself with spirit, which then brings a clearer focus on what creative expression is preparing to be birthed through and from you. Discard any habitual thought patterns that would prevent the manifestation of what you are being prompted to bring forth. Allow yourself to take risks with this self-expression, and all of creation will smile upon you. Again, you know, just keep these thoughts at bay. Keep the good thoughts in the front of your mind and just keep moving forward and pushing forward with that, and you know, you'll be able to create the reality that you want. Okay, so air signs, that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so very much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.